I rise in strong support of the rule today, which includes consideration of my bill, the Stop Unaffordable Dishwasher Standards Act. The Biden Department of Energy, pandering to radical environmentalists, is actively working to make life harder for the American people. Under this administration's latest proposed dishwasher efficiency standards rule, the average American family would be stuck with fewer, more expensive appliance options with no real cost savings over the appliance's lifespan. I'm also proud to co-sponsor another measure to be considered under this rule, the SAVE Act, which will require proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. This legislation will ensure that only American citizens decide America's future.
Sadly, this place is becoming, a forum for trivial issues to get debated passionately and important ones not at all. I would say to the gentleman who just spoke that, and he should know this, that it is illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. It is already the law. But I feel like we have to point that out to my Republican friends. And listening to the way he spoke with such passion about dishwashers and refrigerators, I feel I need to remind the viewing audience that this is not Home Depot. This is supposed to be the United States Congress, where we're supposed to be tackling serious issues, that are confronting the American people. And unfortunately, under this Republican leadership, we never do that. Madam Speaker, if we defeat the previous question, I will offer an amendment to the rule to bring up H.R. 12, a bill that would restore the nationwide right for providers to provide abortion care and for patients to receive care. With bill after bill, House Republicans are letting the American people know who they are. Every opportunity they get, they try to inject poison pill riders, to ban IVF, to restrict access to abortion care, and to make life harder for the American people. As I've said before, they want to turn back the clock on our rights. Just look at Project 2025, a dystopian plan for the future of our country crafted by former Trump administration officials. They want to cut your earned benefits. They want to cut school meals and, yes, end access to abortion care. They even want to take mifepristone off the market completely. And, Madam Speaker, we must bring H.R. 12, the Women's Health Protection Act, to the floor to let them know that we will not let them turn back the clock on the American people. Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to insert the text of my amendment into the record, along with any extraneous material, immediately prior to the vote on the previous question.
Without objection.
And, Madam Speaker, to discuss our proposal, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from Oregon, Ms. Bonamici.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. McGovern, for yielding the time. I rise today in opposition to the rule and in strong support of something my constituents are calling about. It's not dishwashers and it's not refrigerators. It's support for the Women's Health Protection Act, which will provide in law the right for Americans to make their own reproductive health care decisions. The right-wing extremists on the Supreme Court who authored the Dobbs decision overturning abortion rights, they've shown that they will do anything to further their regressive, extreme, and dangerous ideology, regardless of the long history of court precedent. For almost 50 years, the intensely personal decision about whether or when to bear a child or have an abortion was right where it belongs, with the one who is pregnant. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle claim to be pro-life, but the policies they support are anything but. I remember the days before Roe versus Wade, when abortions done without medical care could and often did have tragic outcomes, including death. Even before the Dobbs decision, maternal death rates in 2020, they were 62% higher in states that ban or restrict abortion than in states where it's accessible. Restrictive abortion laws also cause infant mortality rates to rise, including in Texas, where both infant death rates and the number of babies who died of birth defects have increased since the restrictive law banning abortion as early as 6 weeks went into effect. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that between 2021 and 2022, the infant mortality rate increased by 8.3% in Texas, and that's compared with 2.2% increase nationally. And while the death rate of babies 28 days old or younger fell in other states, it increased by 5.8% in Texas. Make no mistake, these laws are not about protecting life. They are about control. controlling the bodies of others, and removing their personal freedom to make the decision about whether or when to bear a child. This will not stop at the state level. At the first opportunity, congressional Republicans will try to enact a nationwide abortion ban to prevent anyone in this country from getting the care they need. For these reasons and more, we must defeat the previous question so we can pass the very important Women's Health Protection Act to protect the right to abortion and restore the freedoms that the Supreme Court, with support from Republicans, brazenly stripped away. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, for yielding, and I yield back the balance of my time.